All right, in this lesson, we're going to get you set up for installing and beginning to customize a starter theme all on your own. So to do this, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and choose a starter theme. Now, I'm a little biased. I'd recommend you check out Joints WP, but you could pick any of the ones that I talked about, or you could go and search and find some starter themes in WordPress that we didn't talk about and check one of those out. But first thing you got to do is pick one. Depending on what the theme is, you may need to set it up. You may need to enter some information to download it. It may just come automatically downloaded. But the next step is to go through the process of installing it. So getting it into WordPress, whether that's copying and pasting it into your themes folder, whether you're uploading it manually, and get that sucker activated. Now, once you've done that, go ahead and make a CSS change, even something not sexy like just changing the background color. All we want to do is check that it's working at this point and we understand this basic concept of how it works. Once you've done that, go into one of the templates and make an edit there. I suggest the footer just because it's an easy one to test. Maybe you want to try the header, but if you dig down into some of the other templates, unless you know a little bit about templates already, which I'm not assuming you do, it might be tricky to figure out what page you have to go to or how to get exactly where you need to see those changes that you made. So again, that's why I recommend the footer one. It's an easy one. It's on pretty much every page. So with all that said, the last thing I'll mention here is a bit of a warning that not all starter themes are created equal, okay? Some of them are very complex and you really need to know development before they are easy and approachable. Other ones are super easy and simple, and they're really easy to get up and running with, and you don't need to understand a lot to understand how they work and start working with them. So I'll throw that out there. If you get frustrated, don't freak out. Maybe just switch to a different one and try again. So with all that said, go ahead now and practice. Now, I'm not going to see what you made. I do have a project file that you could check out in the downloads for this section. So if you wanted to see how I tackled just downloading and customizing one of these, I didn't take it very far, but you could see how I did that. Although really this is for you to practice on your own. So go find one of these starter themes, get it up and running, make a little tweak or two, and then in the last lesson of this section, we'll just do a quick little review to wrap up everything on child and starter themes that we've learned so far. So first up here, when you're customizing an existing theme, you want to use a child theme. You want to take this approach whenever you have a current theme that you want to continue to be able to update and be supported and not have any changes you make to it overridden. So that's where the child theme comes in handy. Now, when you're building a site from scratch, chances are you're going to want to use a starter theme because it comes with a lot of the core and common files that you're going to need, and they often add in some extra sugar and functionality that is really helpful as well. So if you're building a theme from scratch, you're going to want to use a starter theme. Now, I also have to mention at this point that it is completely possible to start with no child theme or starter theme and build completely from scratch on your own, creating everything you need as you go. Now, there are some downsides to this, and that is if you don't really know what you're doing, you may leave out some important code that will prevent a plugin or something else from working properly. And in general, this approach can take a longer time to do since you're creating everything from scratch. But this is actually the approach we're going to take in the next section of this course. So although we've talked about child themes and starter themes, from here what we're going to do is start from complete scratch building everything on our own, and then you're going to be able to come back to this section on child and starter themes, and everything's going to make a lot more sense, and you're going to be really grateful that you don't have to do everything from scratch completely every single time.